With the production value, you make it sound like the McQueen show. I thought they were like actually in a sound booth back in 2014. It was probably just them sitting like across from each other.
I think so. I think it was. Cool. All right.
So yeah. All right. So this is Helter Skelter and
Cobra.
We got
Miss Bra
here with us tonight.
Special guest.
Yeah, special guest. We're just kind of talking about I don't know, just shooting the shit, man. Just like yeah, all of them.
Don't bite the dick that fucks you, honey. You got to learn to suck it funny. How those dicks all taste like rubber, covered with goo. Some comes clear and some comes milky. Some comes thick and some comes silky. Don't bite the dick that fucks you, honey. Let it be good to you.
Yeah.
Before we get out of
Oh
here.
yeah, one more thing about college though is that I was thinking about that while you guys were talking too, and I think that if you do that right and you can minimize debt, that can be the ultimate 4 years early in your life of self-improvement. Because if you do it right, you shouldn't be going to class for 12 hours a day, 5 days a week. You have a lot of time to also hit the gym, approach girls. Hopefully if you're out of college with a lot of hot girls, focus on your style, and really when you're like 18 to 23 or whenever you're going to college, you can really learn and establish certain fundamentals that will help you throughout that you won't be able to do if you go right into starting a business or something else related to that.
That's very interesting. What are some things that you would? All right, can you speak a little more to that? You know, like bringing some style stuff or bringing some, like what is it you would say you would do to try to maximize your college experience if you were going to go that route?
Yeah, because you seem to have a plan, and that's cool because you haven't started the process.
Well,
yet,
it's a result of somebody getting on the forum, really.
But, which is awesome, man. Shit, I wish I got on the forum.
I know a lot of my buddies right now are going to community college, and they only have class 2 days a week, but they're still getting all.
Are they approaching girls? I'm just kidding.
Not too many of them, man. But because when you're in college, that's generally the last time where like you have that success without having to do a bunch of approaching.
Because sometimes it just comes to you and you don't even realize it, right?
Yeah, I mean, some of my buddies, they're doing a lot of work and they're also $40,000 in debt now after 1 year.
Oh, really?
They don't have anything.
After 1 year?
Yeah, because some of these colleges now, man, if you go out of state, you factor in the room and board.
Oh, that's right. If you go out of state, it's very expensive.
Yeah. And so, but I think the ones that have done it smart, they're going to community college. They have it 2 days a week. They still go to the gym. They lift. Some of them still work a job with like sales or something, so they can learn that skill. They make some money.
Sales is a great skill. We've got to do a podcast on sales at some point.
And so I think especially if you do go out of state, though, you can, you're away for the first time, so you can learn that in and of itself, being away from your parents, so you experience being on your own.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you go to college, I think you should be prepared to fully take advantage of the massive amount of free time that you're going to have versus if you go on to like medical school or to try to get your law degree. You're not going to have as much free time then, especially when you're going through like your residency and stuff.
Right. So here's another question I think based on that is how do you deal with, the peer pressure or as a guy, on the forum going into college, right? And some of the experience you had, going through high school, how do you deal with friends who aren't red pill forum guys who might be more beta or more liberal or whatever?
I think the important thing is in high school, there's all these niches. There's the people that do this and the cool kids and the kids. I think it's important to just be focused on your own improvement. Like I lifted and I was cool with everybody. Like I didn't really have a problem. I talked to the nerdy math guy just as easily as I talked to the quarterback. Yeah. And I think if you can really go between all the social
That's pretty
groups,
cool that you could do that though. Some guys are such assholes that, they like think they're better. And the fact that you do that, tells me that, you're a good human being. You can't sometimes let certain people, make judgments on people's, and that's cool.
I think if you can be really socially fluid and have no problem going from like, can you go from the little, business after school group where you guys talk about business and then start partying with the frat guys? Yeah. If you're able to be that fluid, I think you're going to have a much more rounded and beneficial experience.
Oh, absolutely.
What was it that allowed you to be that fluid? Was it reading certain things? Was it just your upbringing? Was it?
I think it was just I was lifting and I was very happy, and because like for the first time I'd grown out of like my shell, I realized that like
endorphins, man.
Yeah,
testosterone.
That was I think that was part. Man, the first when you start lifting, that's as big. For the first 3 months, you'll be satisfied with your size, and then never again. But yeah, from then I realized because I'd never been good with girls before that. It was always very disappointing.
Really?
Yeah. And
even before lifting, you mean?
Well, yeah, and like back before like junior year of high school. I still remember sitting in an 8th grade class. The girl I'd had a crush on for 6 months had sat right next. She was positioned right next to me because of the teacher assignment. I had months. I was so happy, and then I didn't know what to say. And
that sucks. I think we've all had situations like that that can relate to that.
Definitely,
right?
definitely.
Once I found game, it was like, wow, I can actually do this stuff. I don't need to. I actually have the ability to get the women I want, live the lifestyle I want, and I don't have to just be this guy with a white picket fence who's not happy.
Right.
And once I realized that, it was really cool and motivating to me. And I've never really liked judging people too much to begin with. Like, I'm very, like, if I see somebody, I can generally tell if I'm going to like them or not.
Right.
But I'm very open to talking to them. And I think that helps a lot with game because I can just go anywhere and bounce off.
Yeah, no, that's cool because I like, observing a lot. Observational skill is a huge deal. And you can generally tell, especially with guys, how cool they are just by even looking at them. The way they carry themselves. And every day I see it, and I could tell which guy is somewhat red pill and which one's not. It's so very easy to tell. And I'm not talking about size or lifting. There's some skinny ass guys out there that are just confident, so they don't. It doesn't.
It all goes back to the look. I saw that video of that homeless guy picking on this guy today, and there was this black guy right next to him who was he was the white guy was bigger than him, and he got picked on because he looked like he was asking for it. And the black guy, he just had that look to him. It wasn't anything to do with him being black or anything like that. It wasn't race. He just had a look to him. That's throughout everyone. It's this look, and some guys have it, some don't. And I definitely think it can be developed though.
It can. You just have to kind of. Make sure the other guy knows that you're not going to back down. And sometimes they will back down. Yeah, the other guy will. Yeah.
What kind of girls do you get with, man? Is it younger chicks, older chicks?
I am trying to branch off into older chicks.
Every chick from Miss Bry is going to be older. He's pretty young.
Yeah. That's why, I can't game with you guys because all the chicks like you older, man.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to branch off into the Cougars. Snowplow told me that that he liked the older women when he was younger, and I've been trying to get into that too. I really like the short, blonde, young ones though, with that are very effeminate, with the very pretty much like any guy, but I like them especially short and like frail.
Shorter, huh? So it's like small enough for you to stick them on your dick and spin them.
Yeah. I like being able to lift them up and completely control their whole body weight.
Okay.
That's why one of my things I've always said on the forum is if you can't lift the chick, you shouldn't be fucking her. And I need to stop. To stop working out, man.
That is a special quote for the freaking podcast right there. That's great. No, please continue.
Yeah, that's just. I remember the first time I really lifted and I put this chick over my shoulder and I carried her out. I felt that was just really cool to me. My buddy saw it and he's like, "Man, that was the most alpha thing I've ever seen in my life."
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's great.
I should probably start doing that more.
Yeah.
The lifting is good. I'm a pretty skinny guy, but I started working out a little bit.
Girls, like physically.
Yeah, it's very hard.
It's a good way to pick up girls. Yeah.
But guys, man, lifting weight is a big. It's not like I'm completely skinny, but lifting has helped me a lot. It's just a huge deal to just lift some weight, man.
I think helps. Even more than that, it gives you a goal to strive for. Lifting is cool because it reflects physically in your body. But if you want to set a goal like I want to run 4 miles or 3 miles in 18 minutes. That's a tough goal, but you can consistently work towards that, and you have something that you can think about every day and say, I'm working towards this goal.
Right.
I think that helps your mindset tremendously.
Absolutely.
Let's see, I'm loving this whole line of conversation here.
I am too, actually.
Side note, though, every guy should lift and own a black V-neck. That's very important.
Oh,
I've got a whole stack of black V-necks in the back. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, we didn't talk about style.
I threw out all my crew necks pretty much. Like, I think somebody gave me the advice, and I was like, yeah, these V-necks are actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I tried the double V-neck, and
V-necks would be good for you, man. I would think.
I wear V-necks.
Oh, okay.
That's all I wear.
Know that. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for noticing.
I should probably hang out with you more often.
I know a lot of people are they don't like the hats on the forum too. I love plain black hats.
I think you're a hat kind of guy though.
Yeah, I like hats and I love plain black hats with a black V-neck. That's just kind of how.
Which is exactly what Miss Bry's wearing right now.
Which is, I think, the only thing I've ever seen him wear.
Really?
Maybe. Now, well, I don't know. Every time, the few times that we've actually met up, that's usually what he's rocking. I'm fairly certain.
That's my go-to Rouge Street Forum meetup gear right there.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got some vast styles on the forum. I mean, mine is probably just different from you guys. I mean, Miss Brian and I are probably.
Well, yours is pretty always the same thing, man. You always got the pocket square, you got the suit jacket, you got the
Yeah, it's pretty much always like that. I mean, I go to work like this, but even if I'm like hanging out with you guys, I'm usually dressed up like this anyway. But I'm just comfortable in it. I mean, I used to think, oh shit, it's too much, but I don't give a fuck anymore. I will walk into just clubs or bars, sometimes in River North, and be dressed like this, and it's like, why is that guy dressed like that?
I've seen too much. It's part of your persona, which helps you definitely get away with it, and you do it so it's cool. It's not like you're walking in there like full white,
it just doesn't bother me.
Yeah, it looks like I dressed well. I dressed well, and it's part of who I am. It's not like I'm trying to be somebody that I'm not and putting on this.
It's such a part of me, dude. I mean, so and just like you guys, I mean, I think it works for you guys to be doing.
I've gone through a whole spectrum of styles, I think, and when I was your age, Miss, I had so much difficulty with it. Now I think I've sort of gotten down to something a little bit better. I mean, I'm going with like the straight leg, like modified hipster look, I suppose. I don't know. I'm still trying. I just got a bunch of hoodies, so I think I'm gonna start rocking some hoodies. But what else have you experimented with? I mean,
generally, in my age group, people don't go around suited up with pocket squares too much.
It doesn't look right for some reason to see a younger cat, with
I think my gray hair actually helps it.
If you're older, it's like, okay, that fits. If you see a younger dude. Sometimes they can pull it off, I think what works
some younger guys can
for the younger guy is
but I mean, I don't think it, as far as the girls in that age group, I don't know if it works well to have be suited up.
Some guys do, but some guys don't, it's not very common.
Now, I mean, I think, like, for you, V-necks work. I mean, I think girls at your age group that you're trying to get with will find that attractive.
Yeah, girls, I think my age group, they like the plain stuff, just the plain sweatshirt, the plain V-neck. Certainly, if it's part of your personality and you want to wear a suit and a pocket square, I imagine it would work very well.
Yeah, and I think it's a personality thing. If you rock whatever fits your style and you're confident rocking it, I think every girl in every age group will find you attractive one way or the other.
And it's just that.
But I mean, some girls that have come on to me, it makes no sense to me sometimes why they would.
They like the suit. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, and there are a lot of times some are like maybe 20 years younger than I am, so it's.
What are some of the style
20, but
challenges you've run into? Some of the things you had to kind of figure out, that was like, I don't know.
Well, I know what I'm not, and right now at this stage in my life, I'm not like a suit guy or anything like that.
Right.
So generally, I think the most problem guys run into is, I think probably getting your clothes tailored is a really good idea, especially
big time,
because like I know a lot of
guys. Go
to
an Italian tailor, guys, please.
A lot of guys that lift, they'll have the wide waistband so their legs can fit, but if the waistband's small, their legs can't fit into the jeans, so they end up wearing like these huge blocky jeans or jeans that are so tight it looks just like an absolute joke. And so if you can actually get really nice jeans tailored, I think that would help a lot of people too.
Right.
Tailored jeans, huh?
There's a jeans thread on the forum, by the way, that you everyone should check out. And I think that a lot of guys that know jeans and style and denim really well.
Yeah.
I think it's actually a denim thread.
I'm not getting into the whole like raw denim shit. The most advanced I get is is like a 720 something or whatever.
Levi's?
No, from J. Crew.
Okay.
I think it's I don't know. It could be shit, but I mean, I thought it was like a nicer level of denim, And the nice thing about that is that with a straight leg, I can cuff the pants up if I'm wearing boots. I got these nice boots from my favorites ever is Johnson & Murphy shoes, man.
Really?
Yeah, dude. They're comfortable. They're well built,
they're good
and
shoes,
they're reasonably priced. You're going to spend $200 on a shoe that's going to last, I think, and look as good as a $500 shoe. In my opinion.
I've seen you rock that when we went to the coffee shop, and that
really
fit in perfectly there, especially with that crowd.
Yeah.
That definitely had a good look to it, and I like the J. Crew stuff too. They're the ones that have my the sweatshirts that I use, just the plain stuff. I think it's slightly nicer quality. That's normally what I go with.
Yeah, I got these V-necks here from J. Crew sweaters, V-neck sweaters.
Yeah,
they're a deeper one though, so like I don't know how I feel about wearing that. I mean, typically you're going to see that with a crew neck shirt. You know, guys wearing that. Wearing it without the crew neck. You have to have the right chest for it, I think. You know,
you absolutely do. Yeah.
If you know, so go ahead.
Here's what me and my buddy did in high school, and it was kind of like a running joke, which got us some like attention, which was funny. We both started lifting.
Yeah.
So we went to Kohl's, and they have these Mark Anthony V-necks. They're about $7 a piece. We got every single different color. You got to go in the back and try them on though, because the cut varies between them. So you get the best cut. Every day we'd be in a different V-neck, and it was kind of a running joke. We'd have girls coming up, "What V-neck are you wearing today?" And he'd be like,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that is cool.
That's pretty cool.
That's what we did, and it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, and I actually got me and Snowplow hung out about a week ago in the Trump Towers. No politics though.
Yeah.
So he actually was wearing a jacket, and he had some nice jeans, and he had some nice shoes on, which is kind of not his style, but he was rocking it.
This is
Snowplow, yeah.
Okay.
So we were hanging out. Vinman was there too, actually.
Okay.
And it's funny, a few hot girls walked in, and I actually pushed him to do an approach, and I'm sure he wanted to do it anyway, but that actually worked for him.
I need to be pushed to do an approach. No hate, but
yeah, we could talk about approaches a lot, but yeah, I mean, he actually went out and did, and it was pretty cool. But I think with the style, it was a little different for him, but it worked for him. And the reason I say this is because of the environment and the atmosphere that he was in. Trump Towers. It was actually, I like that bar. I feel like I'm going to go back there again. Right in Chicago. And, the atmosphere was nice, dimly lit. It was a pretty cool bar. Everyone was really nice over there. We actually met some pretty cool people. And him being there dressed like that, it just fit.
Yeah, I noticed.
Venue is a big deal, is what I'm saying.
My willingness to approach too is directly related to my style and
absolutely.
I mean, you should technically, you probably should be able to wear just about anything and go pick up a relatively hot chick. But in regards to your actual mindset and what's going on, you should be well dressed because you feel much more motivated to do an approach.
So if I can throw this out here, what I've been working with, riffs off of this, is a how do I say it? Mike, Danger and Play, he did a post on, or who was it who did this? Lifestyle design is a waste of time.
Oh, I don't know.
You see all this shit in movies. You read GQ.
I thought that was the infamous McQueen that ranted on lifestyle versus game. I remember that was a huge part of the thing about a year ago.
Yeah. But no, this is recently. Roosh, I think, did it. Oh, yeah, Roosh said something about how, I thought it was Roosh maybe, actually. But anyway, the thing went, lifestyle design is a waste of time. Status signaling is a waste of time. That's definitely from Mike Cernovich. But you see all these things like, oh yeah, so Roosh was talking about how he used to read GQ and Esquire. I read GQ for 2 years straight. I got every fucking issue, and I read that shit religiously. And I was like, okay, cool. Here's how I'm supposed to look, right? I mean, this is the epitome of style. And we all know that having a good physique is going to be probably the biggest style asset. Yeah. But you can still look good, and you can if you're not in great shape, and you can also look shitty if you're in great shape.
Oh, absolutely.
But the thing what I've been trying to do is the sort of like antithesis of buying into style, right? So I want to get the cheapest underwear, socks. The cheapest, but the best, so I want to find the best line there, and I want to get a bunch of it and have it fucking stockpiled, So, cheap hoodies is something I'm doing now, not cheap as in shitty quality, but then I take care of my clothes well, because cheaper clothing, like if you get a sweater, right, and it's not a cashmere sweater, then it's gonna, the arms are gonna kind of bow out and shit, and it's gonna look shitty. Like if you get a nice cashmere sweater, it'll last you the rest of your life. Well, if you're saving up for a good style item, like a cashmere sweater or a I don't know, silk fucking boxers or some shit like that. I don't know. But I cut my own hair. I wear these. I'm starting to wear.
You cut your own hair?
Yeah, I cut my own hair.
No shit.
Yep, I got these nice scissors, and I got a nice pair of clippers. There's a pretty good thread on the forum about that. Yeah. And I've noticed that when I don't, I have it cut kind of short right now, right? I used to have it out kind of long, and I used to try to style it. I'm trying to go out with my hair looking like I just woke up, but I found out
if you
where
put some gel in it, I think it'll work out for you.
Well, no, but see, I'm trying to do it without the gel, but I wanted to, I sometimes just put a little bit of gel in there, but I wear these thicker glasses. It's almost like a hipstery frame, but secretly I know that...
secretly you're a hipster.
Well, no, so they're military issued. The new
Really?
the new BCGs are actually pretty sexy.
No shit.
Yeah, dude.
The BCGs I wore in fucking 1996.
No, I know that. I
were like fucking...
Give me a second. I'll bring both of them out. But I got both pairs, man. I got the old BCGs.
You'll have to put some pictures up in the thread.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm going for this like antithesis of like buying into Madison Avenue shit, and it's something that like counteracts cognitive dissonance. So if you have these ideas, okay, I'm a red pill guy. I'm reading this Roosh stuff. I'm trying to kind of live my life this way and sort of support this lifestyle. We're gonna cut this in half. This podcast, I think.
Yeah,
so
gotcha.
We'll do the stuff we were asking Miss Bar questions, and we'll do, But anyway, so I went on the rant with that. I think you guys can kind of see where I'm going with it. But I'm experimenting with that lately, and I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, definitely. You guys want to finish off with the wiki stuff or save it for later?
Any thoughts on the stuff you want to talk about?
I think if that's done correctly and they're like
the wiki,
the wiki, right? Yeah.
If it's done correctly and there aren't just a bunch of inside forum jokes thrown on there, like I saw one guy mentioned, I think it can be really cool. And I think there should be some of that forum stuff that we can like. Little Dark definitely deserves his own.
Oh, definitely,
entry.
And that's out there, right?
Yeah, it's already done. Samuel Roberts, shout out.
Yeah.
If that's done correctly, I think that has an excellent opportunity to expand the overall outreach of the concepts that the forum constantly talks about.
Yeah, and I think the search results will be up there too. And I haven't looked into this wiki thing, but I mean, I think it's a great idea. Right now, I think the forum, and I hate to say this, but I mean, people start threads on the forum like... And I'm not calling anybody out, but when you're a newbie, do not start threads that are so fucking extreme that it makes you makes the members not ever want to give you a rep point ever again. There's been some threads lately like that, like extremely like fucking out there type threads. Who wants to read that shit? But the wiki part of what we're doing is going to like maybe kind of be against that a little bit, and we're actually going to have maybe more credible information out there, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I've just seen the last feminism on the college campus thread that I've ever cared to read.
God, yeah, that's exactly what I mean, and I don't want to call anything out, but yeah, I agree with you, man. Like, we talk about feminism like it's going to kill us, and I think
it is, man. I'm on that. I'm very much onto that whole feminism is cancer hashtag shit, man. I think it's the worst
I just
thing.
think, and I see where you're coming from, but I'm in more of a camp that. I mean, yes, it's out there, but I think that the more we let it affect us, the less you're gonna, be a man in a way. I mean, yeah,
exactly. And posting on an internet forum anonymously
it
is
actually,
going to do little to nothing. If you want to do something about it, like what Mike is making his own documentary right now, Silenced. That's really cool. That's going to actually have a significant effect.
Right.
If we want to actually do something against feminism, which I agree is a cancer, you got to have something that's going to be significant. Like we should, obviously, it's tough to. We should produce like our own documentary or our own sort of thing, because just posting.
We should do our own podcast.
Yeah, that's what we should do. Yeah. That's exactly right.
Sorry, go ahead.
There's got to be something more than just posting the random comment that's funny. Would bang or would not bang. Oh, she has blue hair. I didn't expect that.
There's a lot of that out there.
That'll be on the forum next year, and I'll keep posting. I'll obviously be in there. But
part of it's let's just ignore some of this shit, because the more you ignore it, the more it'll just go away.
That's a good point. In general, I think the forum is getting pretty sick of it. You're seeing people say like, it must be. Time for you to get out and get rid of that cabin fever. So
what's happened on the forum is it used to be all about game, and we used to ignore the feminism a lot, like very early in the forum when I first got on there. And at that point, the forum was like a couple years old already, and they were already very established members, and I was a newbie. Mm-hmm. And people were calling out, "Are you a troll? Are you the IRT?" Like if you read some of my earliest posts, I would always say, "Not trolling," and then I would post. So what I'm saying is, it's gotten away from games. So now we have all these newbies posting all this random shit. And, the game stuff really gets lost. The approach thread, which is, I think, the best thread on the forum, doesn't even have posts anymore as much as it used to.
Exactly. I'm on my 5th account right now. And
really,
it's a joke if you. Yeah.
Really,
I finally made it through the barrier of entry. I definitely agree, though. There's definitely an obvious barrier for newbies to go through, and I think that's necessary because the first 100 to 200 posts you make, it really shows, and there are a lot of trolls out there.
Yeah, guys, I am not going to give anybody a fucking rep point if you've got 200 shitty posts ever. It doesn't matter if you give me another 500 posts that are good.
All right,
if your first
take my
200
rep
suck,
point back.
I am not going to give you a rep point.
I think
actually, I still give you a rep point.
I mean, man, look at it too. Like that new guy, NASA test pilot, 260 posts, 59 reps. I mean, there's
that's a good ratio.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's definitely a way to have higher quality posts.
Yeah, like Anabasis Tedesta, he's a good post.
I don't really get caught up too much in rep points, but I have noticed, like let's say. And absolutely nothing against these guys because I actually don't know too much about their posts. But Hank Moody joined the forum, immediately has rep points.
Yeah.
NASA test pilot immediately has rep points, and everybody wants to meet him. He's like the fucking the prettiest girl on the ball right now.
Has anybody met him? I'm not going to go here.
My point is that some people find a way to write things in a way that gets them a lot of rep points.
Right. Absolutely. I think one thing I'll say. He's a great writer. And he's got a lot of good stuff to say.
But then you also see people like Octavian, very few posts, very few rep points.
Octavian is a guy that we saw day approaches like
forum member, man.
20 of them the other weekend, right?
I don't think that it speaks to somebody as much. I mean, the forum is a way for us to kind of find each other on the internet, right? I mean, really, that's what it is. Now shit's happening offline. Look at this. What's going on now in Chicago, all over the fucking world. So. If you get these people into your social circle or whatever, get them offline, what's the value going to be there? And what can we do to sort of kind of help each other out and shit? I mean, those are bigger questions, I think, than how many rep points does this guy have versus his ratio of posts.
Yeah, generally, after a certain amount, I like to see a few, like at least 5.
Yeah.
But after that, it is definitely a flawed system.
It does affect me a little bit, my opinion of the person, but...
Yeah, and I think, obviously you're fine. Helter Skelter's got
I've got enough. I don't need any more.
Yeah, but the fact that you know guys off the forum and we all respect you, you know enough cool guys that are, already highly, I guess, repped or have a reputation that it doesn't really matter.
Right.
But we were talking about this last time. There is 20,000 members on the forum, and we were talking about this when you told me or somebody told us, and we were like, what the fuck, really?
No, I showed you, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And there's really not that many of those members that are active and respected. Not that many at all. It's probably close to 1%, right?
Somebody posted threads on this, but...
Yeah, isn't it only 10% reach 250 posts?
At least, at most,
something like that.
Yeah.
So there's
and I think this group here, just anybody that we've had on the podcast, or, even us, we're probably on that top 5% or whatnot. And nobody else, those guys, it's just either they don't build a reputation or they don't care for it or they just want to make random posts. And that's fine, but, it's, there's a level of service you can give to the forum that will get you up there to the top 5%.
If you want the maximum experience of the forum, though, you definitely do have to meet people.
You have to meet people.
That's where it all comes
I agree
from.
with that completely.
Yeah, you're not getting a lot out of it. But Miss Bro, why don't you go ahead and bring us home, man? What are some of the things you got out of this discussion, and what are some of the things you want to leave us with?
Oh shit, that's broad.
That's all right.
You take your time, man. Too.
Yeah, take your time, please. Yeah.
Overall, I think the forum is a fantastic resource, and I think that it's doing a lot of good. I hope to see it expand and reach its audience. I love seeing all this stuff where we reach bigger things. Whenever there's a controversy, I'm good, because thousands of new people are going to see us. There's going to be new guys. And I think overall, it's it's interesting to think. I don't know where I'd be without the forum. And I think it's had a huge impact on my life, just an internet forum, which is surprising. I've learned so much.
Make good friends.
Yeah, so much from this forum that I never expected when I first signed up.
Yeah, and you're right. I think I'm socially a better person for it.
Gotten laid because of it.
Yeah, in my life, even at work, I know when to ignore people when I shouldn't. And I don't always go out there, put myself out there. I don't say sorry anymore to people. Which is a shitty thing to say.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I do say it a lot, but I genuinely mean it when I say it. It's just I don't use it on a day-to-day basis. Like, just really random things like that.
I think everybody should find a community of guys that they, or just a group that they associate with. But I think it'll be very tough to find a group that has more high-quality members than the forum. Yeah. And that I don't think a lot of people realize that too. I mean, if you put all these people together, they would be very successful. I haven't met anybody from the forum that was weird, that I didn't like, or that was, I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, we wowed it.
No, but in general, no, you know what, you're right. Even the ones that the very, very few that I was like, kind of like,
yeah, they're actually very
they're
few.
still great dudes, you know.
Yeah, they were good people. They were weird, but
there might be something a little off about them, but they actually turn out to be way deeper than you expect.
Yeah, I'd say most of the guys are good dudes. I mean, in regards to weird, there is something a little weird about a guy that just goes and approaches girls on the streets day after day, year after year. There has to be something a little weird.
There's something off about you. Yeah, exactly.
And that's when you do it in the beginning, it comes off that way too.
But yeah,
it's hard to be casual.
Most of them are, by and large, very good dudes, and you can't say the same about people from Reddit or 4chan or any of these other large forums where people congregate. It's very rare, and I hope there's resource. Oh yeah, from the minute you met some people, like I always say, half the miss is like RVFers, the other half are like you combine the trolls and they just go at it. It's hilarious, but it's not someplace you want to spend a ton of time.
There's a lot of RVF guys on the miss.
No, but they're kind of like similar.
Okay.
They're much more associated on their overall look, though. I mean, I was into that when I was like 16 or 17, really into it. But
you mean they care about their physical look? I mean, how they physically look rather than style or anything.
Yeah, I think they're. This is a very unpopular opinion, but I think a guy that associates on how ripped his abs are every second of the day.
That's not unpopular, man. I mean, even on the forum, people say, "Fuck." I mean,
but you're
fitness
saying
is great.
I'm all for taking your physique to like a high level. I mean, it's a lot of fun. But some guy that looks at himself in every single mirror he passes, I mean, that's just not normal masculine.
Yeah, I mean, that's
behavior.
Narcissism too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put up this thing. I was thinking about putting this thing on my signature, and then it seemed like it might be too pretentious. So
you were putting your abs up on
yeah, right. A picture of my abs. Fuck you, dude.
Sorry, that's fun.
But no, it was this thing called the Heinlein. This guy Heinlein, he made this comment. I guess it was like human beings should be able to, change the oil in a car, change a diaper, wage a war, con a ship, and specialization is for insects. So human beings we're multi. Faceted learners and accomplisher, but I guess specialization, focusing specialization, on your fucking abs, saying like, oh, this is my life, is weird.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But yeah, I don't know if you were finished.
Well, what else you got? Yeah,
I kind of just hit the end of my line there.
All right. I think we kind of just I'm.
Yeah,
it's been a long day.
I think we covered a lot of really good stuff.
Yeah, we covered a lot of good stuff, and I do want to say, in the future we're going to have some forum members on, some that have probably been on already, some really new ones, and hope you guys keep tuning in.
Tune in next week.
Yeah,
same bad time,
same bad channel.
Yeah. All right, that's it. Thanks for listening.